Hello, Facebook friends. This is Courtney Harris with Courtney Harris Coaching, and I'm a child-centered and teen life coach. And it is my greatest pleasure, and I have so much fun working with teens and tweens and their parents. And today I'm so excited because I'm going to tell you a little bit about my 25 quick tips for parents of teens and tweens. So, quick ways of connecting. And this has really come to mind because as I've been working with particularly a 17-year-old client that I have in mind, there was a lot of resistance and a lot of struggle in the relationship between the 17-year-old daughter and her mother. And they were really missing each other. They were not on the same page. They were often, the suggestions that they'd have for one another would just, the mom would say, hey, let's do this. The daughter would say no. The daughter would say, let's do this. The mother would say no. So they're really missing each other, right? They're never really crossing paths. And so I developed a list of quick tips for the mom to use to find kind of new and creative ways of connecting with her daughter. And so today I'm going to get on and share about 12 of the quick tips that I shared with the mother. And it's been so interesting to see the ways that they actually have been able to cross paths because over time, I also talked about these tips with the daughter. So of course the work is for us to be more open to receiving. So as both the parents and the supporters, we of course have our child's best interest and we're really working to create a strong bond and create a strong relationship of trust with them. But sometimes we're still missing them because we're not receiving them. And likewise, as a teen or a tween, we might be working so hard to build our own independence and working so hard to define ourselves as individuals that we're not receiving the love and the support that our parents are showing up with. And so these quick tips, I share them directly with parents, but then I also gradually talk about them and share the ideas with the child or the teen. And so over time, the goal, of course, is deeper connection and deeper communication. And so I'm really excited to give you these tips today because I know that that's what you're looking for. I've had so many parents come forth and talk about the ways that they really want to rebuild trust or to have a more open relationship with their teens and tweens. So today you are going to get a little taste of the list. I'll share 12 tips with you. And then if you'd like to know more, you can comment below with your email address and I'll send you the PDF file with all 25 tips. And of course, if you have other tips that you'd like to add to the list, you can also comment below with that. And I'd love to hear your ideas and keep building this list for all of us together so that we can be in more harmonious communication and relationship. So here's the list. I'm going to read it from you. So I'm just looking below at my notes to read it to you. So number 1, listen rather than try to give advice. Let your child be the expert some days. Just let that sink in a little bit. It's a good one. So as parents and supporters, we often want to fix. We don't want our child to be in pain or suffering. So when they come to us with a problem, we might immediately jump to advice. We might want to fix it. Oh, I'm now visiting in Northern California and it's beautiful. You can see the background. I'm in the forest and I guess she's my cousin. My niece's dog is here in the background. So it's really beautiful here. So, okay, that first tip is a big one. We want to make sure that we can listen and that we let our child be the expert sometimes because it's stifling if we always come with advice, right? Our child needs the space to just vent, to share sometimes, and to maybe come up with their own solutions themselves. Number 2 is to leave small notes of affirmation or love around the house for your teen or tween to find. This one comes from my own experience as a teen. My mom would leave notes in my lunch that she would help me pack my lunch. I was very blessed to have her help and support for many years. And in my lunch, she would often write a little note on a Post-it or on a napkin and leave it for me. And it meant a lot. I still remember that. You know, now being 31, that's still something that I remember so fondly. Number 3 is when your child does open up and share, drop what you're doing and pay full attention. Just that, right? So when they actually come to you and share something that seems personal, or maybe they're sharing on a topic that they haven't opened up about before, drop what you're doing. If you can, just stop in that moment and listen and be there. Tip number 4 is when your child shares something vulnerable, ask questions like, How does that make you feel? To show interest and concern. So this really connects nicely with number 1 and number 3, but it's all about giving your child the space to talk about their experience rather than coming in and giving our advice as the adults or the supporters. So really let them share their process, and actually we're giving them more power to think through the experience and what it actually feels like for them. We often are in life, people often want to give us advice. Even adults, we are met by this. If we share an experience, our friend might want to give us advice. But if we can actually have the time to process and think about how we're truly feeling, we might come to our own resolution in a way that feels very authentic and healing for us. But we need the time and the space to do that. We need the opportunity to think about, how does this make me feel? So I encourage you to ask that of your teens. Tip number 5 is, alternatively, when your child shares something vulnerable, simply say, I hear you. That's it. I hear you. Or it could be something like, oh, my heart goes out to you. Or, I hear that you're feeling sad. Okay, so just letting it be. Letting whatever their experience is be, and let them be in it. Tip number 6. Invite your child to browse recipes with you. Let them pick a recipe for the upcoming week and invite them to cook with you. So having shared time in the kitchen, shared time over a meal, shared time over the experience of choosing what you're going to eat is really it's a shared process, right? We're engaging together, making choice together, and creating a shared experience together. So that one's a bit more specific. But I know that food can be a means of bringing people together, so I offer that one to you today. Number 7 is to share personal aspects of yourself. So actually open up and share about real life struggles that you're having, perhaps struggles you're having with your friends or with your career, and let your child see that you're actually more similar than they might admit right off the bat. So when you share the process or the struggle that you're going through and actually share your metacognitive or your inner thought process and your emotional process, and you name your emotions and you name the challenges that you're going through, that shows your child, hey, my parent gets me. They're going through tough stuff too. So just that emotional vulnerability is a huge tip and tool for you. Number 8 is to play a video game with your teen or tween and let them choose a series on Netflix for you to watch together. So giving them the space to share with you stuff that they love, games that they love, shows that they love, movies that they love, and stepping into that space with them, letting them share the parts of themselves that they hold close, right? As a teen or a tween, it's important to seek the things, the music that you love, the games that you love. That's part of how you create your identity and who you are. So being able to be in that space with them and let them share is really powerful, and they'll feel really touched. And I think it's again that going back to receiving. They're receiving you and sharing their space with you as the parent, but you also have to receive whatever it is that they're sharing. So it may not be your favorite movie or show or game, but you can receive it for the sake of the relationship and getting to know your child in a different way. Okay, number 8, I keep going back. Number 9, let your child pick the music in the car, even if you truly dislike their taste. So very similarly, letting them have choice, letting them share with you, and you can even create conversation about it. How did you find out about this artist? Or, what is it that how does this music speak to you? So just engaging in the dialogue. So before giving your opinion, letting them share why it touches them and why they like it. Okay, number 10 is to create rituals around things that you both like and love. So this can be decided together. Do you want to get pedicures together every month? Is there a go-to family taco joint that you're going to go to together every Tuesday? Is there, do you want to dedicate Saturday evenings as family movie night? So picking together a ritual, and it doesn't have to be something that costs money. It can be board games at home. It can be taking a walk together. But it has to be decided on mutually. This is something that it's a ritual that you agree on, both child and parent involved in creating the ritual and creating the schedule. Okay, tip number 11 is to create heart maps together. And heart maps are something that I love so much. If you're in my private Facebook group for parents, you have seen a challenge in which I talked, well, it wasn't in a challenge, but I shared my heart mapping process. And it's something that I love because it's an activity that involves crafting and creating, but it's about digging into what is truly in our heart. Who and what do we hold dear? What memories do we hold dear, and naming that, putting that on paper and sharing those beautiful pieces of work together. So again, sorry about the dogs. It's a lot of fun out here. So heart maps, if you'd like to know more, comment below and let me know that you'd like to do a heart map, and I can share that with you. It's an awesome process, and I think I've shared my pictures of my recent heart maps in June on my Facebook feed and my Instagram feed, so you can check that out as well. And then tip number 12, the last one for today, is to allow some conflicts to go without resolution. To focus first on letting each party express their hurts. So you express your hurts as a parent, let your child express their hurts. And then practice and model apologies. So some conflicts are not going to reach resolution in the 1 hour or the 30 minutes or the 5 minutes in which it kind of explodes or comes to a head. But being able to just let it be in the space of some sort of chaos, or in a way, some sort of just hurt, right? If there's hurt, and just letting that be for a little bit, but then working towards practicing apologies for the things that you can apologize for. So I know that for me, when my parents have come, even as an adult child, when my parents have hurtfully apologized to me, it means so much. It is so powerful to know that every single person can admit wrong, or can admit mistake, and can admit a way to build, to rebuild. And I think that's a huge piece of power. So I share that with you today to give your, it's a tip for opening the space for letting things kind of be a little rough or be a little unresolved, and to accept that, and then to also take a step towards resolution by apologizing, but not expecting apology back from your child. So really, this is a place of acceptance, low or no expectation, and acknowledging that the conflict can take a while to unravel. So just being at peace with that. So these are the first 12 tips in my list of 25 tips for parents for connecting with your teen and tween. And if you'd like the rest, comment below with your email address and I'll get that sent over to you. And if you have other tips that you'd like to add, you can also comment below, and we can keep generating a long list for all of us as parents and supporters. So I'm excited to hear what what your tips are and what you're using in your life with your teen and tween, and what's really working for you. And I'm excited to share some tips with you to open some new space for you. I can't wait to be in conversation with you. I think this is day 7 of my Facebook Live challenge, and I'll be going live for 30 days. And if you're in my group, I'm going to be a little bit quieter in these next few days. I'm actually taking a little vacation. I've been so busy working all summer, and I go back to my part-time teaching here in about a week. And so I'm taking a bit of a vacation this week. So if I'm slow to respond this week, if I don't get you your tips emailed over right away, or if I'm a little quieter in my group or on my page, it's because I'm taking a vacation. So I will be here, though. I will come back and check all your comments, and I'll make sure that I get my tips sent out to you. So can't wait to see who's interested. Comment below, and I'll talk with you all soon. Take care.